what we don't want is to have Joe Biden depending on Putin's forbearance, knowing that Trump is coming in. You know, there's only so far he can be pushed.
I agree. I'm so dismayed and shocked by what's happened in the last couple of days, because when the Pentagon said before November 5th, we're not going to do this, they explained why. This is dangerous, it's provocative, it will not change the course of the conventional war, but it could lead to nuclear escalation. They explained all of it. They actually sent the British Prime Minister packing, because the British are exceptionally irresponsible in all of this. As a 19th century imperial power, they have their delusions of grandeur still, and they want the United States to do the dirty work. So Starmer came over to the White House, you'll recall, and tried to talk Biden into this, and the Pentagon said, no, this makes no sense. Now, what also is very disturbing about all of this from my point of view is that such a momentous decision was made without any explanation to the public by President Biden. I don't know whether he can give an explanation anymore. I don't know who really makes these decisions anymore, but it's not acceptable with our lives in the balance and with the administration on its way out in a few weeks to be making decisions like this and then period, but then not even accounting for them or explaining them.
That's right. And we see him, what do we see? We see him stumbling on the beach in Delaware, missing the photo ops at the G20. Like, there's no reason to believe he's in control and in command. And we just pray for the next 2 months.
And the responsibility
on a brighter note, let's do a brighter note, because I have heard you talk about, because I said this to my audience. When I went over to Russia those couple of times, I was floored by how loving the Russian people were toward America. They loved to hear that I was a U.S. citizen. They loved to talk about America. They had no animosity toward us at all. You know, our world leaders get us into these conflicts and have these, you know, as we've just discussed, they're not thinking the way the citizenry is. But what could the relationship look like in the next phase? You know, once Trump gets in there and JD is in there too in his ear, what could things look like after we wrap this thing up, which I do think it will be wrapped up pretty quickly?
Let me just tell you that in December 1991, I was in the Kremlin because I was an advisor to President Boris Yeltsin on his economic crisis that they were facing. And I sat in the room in the Kremlin, and Boris Yeltsin came from the far side of a very, very big room out into the room from a back door in the background, walked up to the table and said, gentlemen,
shots for everyone.
I was chairing a delegation, and he said, gentlemen, I would like to tell you the Soviet Union is over. He said, I've just been meeting with the heads of the Soviet military, pointed to the door in the back, and said they have agreed to the end of the Soviet Union. And then he went on to talk about how Russia would be a normal country, friendly with the United States, friendly with Europe, a normal market economy, a normal democratic country, how it wanted normalcy and good relations. And I spoke then and said, Mr. President, I am sure that this is how the United States sees it too. I am sure the United States is going to give you a hand in this deep economic crisis that the Soviet Union fell into to help you find your way out of this in a perfectly fine manner. Well, I was wrong. The United States neocons did not want peace. They wanted dominance. They wanted what is called hegemony. They wanted to be able to move NATO where they want. They wanted to be able to put American missiles where they want. They wanted to leave whatever treaties they wanted. They behaved very, very badly. Could we have normal cooperative relations with Russia? Of course we could. That's what they wanted. I saw it with my own eyes. I heard it with my own ears. I was there. I saw it with President Kuchma of Ukraine. I was an advisor to the Ukrainian government also. We had the chance, really, for peace. But the neocons didn't want peace. They wanted hegemony. They wanted U.S. dominance. It was arrogance. And they played things so badly for so many years, for more than 30 years now, to get us to this absolutely parlous state that was unimaginable in 1991. Unimaginable that we'd be talking about whether there would be a nuclear war between the two countries. So could Trump and Vance pull this back to normalcy? Of course they could. And by the way, I have to say the same with China, because everyone says, oh, China, we have to hate China. China's our biggest threat. We have to be nice to Russia so we can hate China. This too is completely mistaken. We don't need to hate either of these countries. They both want peace and cooperation and economic development. That's what they want.
Russia is a more persuasive case to me. China, there's just been too much negative news about what they're doing. Recently the police station, the secret police in New York are, threatening Chinese speakers there. I mean, the buying of the land. We're sending billions of dollars of armaments to Taiwan that we, in our diplomacy, recognize as part of China. And if China starts sending billions of dollars of armaments to one of the U.S. states, you'll know that we have a problem. I have been going to China. I agree with you. Having looked into the Taiwan situation, the smartest people I've talked to say we should not get involved in that.
Absolutely. But
Taiwan's already part of China, and we shouldn't get involved over there, and no one wants to see American boots on the ground in Taiwan, and we should stop being so provocative with respect to Taiwan.
Bravo. That's the main point of irritants with China. The other point of irritants is the South China Sea, because we have a doctrine that we have choke points on China's sea lanes. If we would just calm down, we would find that there are plenty of grounds for cooperation. And that's the point. We need to calm down. We need to stop being in the other guy's face, especially the face of another superpower. We need to stop saying we can do whatever we want. We can send our armaments to Taiwan. We can strike with our missiles inside Russia. We have to get over that mentality, and then we're going to find that there's actually the basis for cooperation.
For those of us holding our breath for the past several months, we can finally exhale. Doesn't it feel like that? Work can finally be done on the major issues this country is facing, and it will be. One of the most significant, our national debt. The fact is our nation is broke, and that debt is a house of cards that can't be quickly dismantled. So the strategy remains the same. You might want to diversify your savings. This is why I want to tell you about Birch Gold. So many things are out of our control and out of our president's control, so it can be really important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold Group can help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. And the best news is it doesn't cost you 1 cent out of pocket. Text MK to 989898 now to get your free info kit. Plus, right now through Black Friday, you're going to receive a free 1-ounce silver eagle for every $5,000 purchased. Protect your savings with Birch Gold. Text MK to 989898 and claim your eligibility for free silver today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.